Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Bees Knees and China Cups. Today we're reading a children's book. This is a very nice one. The illustrations are beautiful. Illustrations are the pictures drawn by someone special. It's called Tomatoes for Neela by Padma Lakshmi, host of Top Chef and Taste the Nation. Illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal, Caldecott Honor winner. Tomatoes for Neela. Oh, and the illustrations make it so much fun. Neela loved cooking with her Amma in their cozy kitchen. There was a lovely portrait of her pati that hung over them, watching them cook. Neela and her Amma made all kinds of yummy recipes. There were cakes and puddings and sauces, always bubbling away. Hummus, mashed potatoes, roasted cauliflower, chipotle, aioli, spaghetti and meatballs, ramen, rice, pilaf, chimichurri, spicy lentil stew, roasted chicken, steak and fries, dosas, ceviche, passion fruit cheesecake, mango pudding, sushi, dumplings, lemon loaf, flan, pesto, French omelette, saffron rice. Don't read this book if you're hungry. Amma scribbled all their recipes into a big notebook. It was always open. Neela loved to sit on the corner and copy the recipes into her own notebook, too. Among the spices and nuts, there sat another cloth-covered book on the shelf. This one looked old and important, like it was full of spells and belonged to a wizard. But it had actually once belonged to her pati, and one day it would belong to Neela. Saturday was Neela's favorite day of the week. They were going to the green market. The market was always buzzing with customers and now brimming with crops from the end of summer. Juicy, ripe peaches, plump blueberries, golden corn, topped with stringy silk so shiny it looked like the hair on Neela's doll. The best time of the year. And best of all, tomatoes. There's so many kinds. Green tomatoes, good for frying. Plum tomatoes, not so many seeds. Cherry tomatoes. Beefsteak tomatoes, big like a softball. Slice them thick for toast with mayonnaise. Lemon boy tomatoes, like the sun. Sweet, so sweet. Grape tomatoes for snacks at the park. Heirloom tomatoes. Neela smiled at the heirloom tomatoes with their funny shapes and ridges. Amma explained they are called heirlooms because their seeds are passed down from season to season, so they always maintain their deep flavor. These tomatoes reminded Neela of Pati's cookbook. Neela and Amma brought back a bag bursting with plump, juicy plum tomatoes. Plum tomatoes were the best for making her pati's favorite tomato sauce because they had fewer seeds. Making sauce was something she had done at the end of every summer, right before school started, since Neela could remember. Neela loved how the sauce tasted. But the sweetest part was that it made her feel closer to her Pati, who lived far away in India. Neela unpacked their treasure onto the counter as she smiled up at her Pati's portrait. Neela always helped her Amma. She shelled peas in the spring, peeled sweet potatoes in the fall, and even sprinkled and stirred spices into dishes. Neela loved listening to her Amma tell stories while they cooked together. Many of these tales had been passed down from mothers to their daughters. Amma washed and carefully cut X's on the bottom of each tomato. Then she dropped them in boiling water for just a few minutes. After she strained them and they were cool enough to touch, Neela began to peel them. Next, Amma cut them over a bowl, saving the juices and seeds. Neela peeled garlic, and then Amma sliced and fried the garlic gently with oil in the pan. At times, Amma moved so quickly the bangles on her wrists made pretty clinking sounds. This was music to Neela's ears. There was a slow rhythm when she chopped, faster beats when she shook spices, but the loudest and most fun was when her Amma shredded carrots with the box grater. When the garlic was just barely golden, Amma added the tomatoes to the pan. Neela shook in the salt and Amma stirred, her bangles clicking and clacking. Neela danced around to the rhythm of the bracelet's music. Then she dropped in a few bay leaves so that Amma could stir again. Amma put a lid on the pan and showed Neela how to carefully lower the flame just so. The sauce simmered. The room smelled deliciously of warm tomatoes and roasted garlic. Did you know that tomato comes from an old Aztec word, tomato? They traveled from the New World all the way to Europe and even India long ago. Amma said, people thought tomatoes were pretty but feared they were poisonous. Neela laughed at the idea of being afraid of a tomato. Over the years, people in Spain and Italy began to cook them in sauces and stews and found they were just delicious. Neela wrote these notes down in her recipe book in clear letters. She was excited to show her Pati what she had learned about tomatoes and how she could make the family tomato sauce when she would come to visit in the winter. Sauce is ready. Want to taste? Amma asked. Yes, Neela said. She ate slowly, letting the warm sauce coat her mouth. This was the taste they would savor all winter, when the air grew cold and tomatoes were no longer in season. Ooh, that's one happy girl. I can almost smell their kitchen right now. But why can't we just buy tomatoes then, Amma? Because tomatoes grow on vines on the longest days of the year when it's hot enough to go swimming. They need to swim in the sun. Amma explained that tomatoes picked when in season not only taste better, they're better for you. It's best to have fruits and vegetables when Mother Nature likes to grow them near us, Amma said. All Neela knew was that cooking tomatoes in summer would make her happy all winter too. Made into simple pasta sauce or yummy chutney, Used to stew beans for chili or turned into salsa for enchiladas, the tomatoes would fill containers and can jars that would be the pride and joy of their kitchen. Now they just had to save enough to have tomatoes in the winter. Whew. Jars and jars and jars of canned tomatoes with little dates on them so they know when they were canned. Neela placed a special jar of tomato sauce in the back of the cupboard that she would save for Pati's next visit. That way, she could be a part of this special Saturday too. One day soon, they would share these sweet flavors together. Yay for the drama! Pati's tomato sauce. This is a super simple recipe that's delicious, served over pasta, drizzled over eggs, or used as a sauce for pizza. It also freezes well. Ask an adult to help with this recipe. It has all the measurements that you need: tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, bay leaves, kosher salt, black pepper and or red pepper flakes, and a quarter to a half teaspoon of sugar. Only if you're not using peak season tomatoes. And it has all the long instructions for the sauce. Neela's tomato chutney. This simple chutney gives a zing to any meal. Use it like ketchup or a mild hot sauce. It's great with eggs and toast, on a hot dog, or spread onto a grilled cheese sandwich before heating, or dip in after. Use it with tortilla chips in place of salsa or to make nachos. Oh, this is canola oil, cumin seeds, brown or black mustard seeds, yellow onion, garlic, ginger, curry leaves, turmeric, cayenne, tomatoes, sugar, salt, and pepper to taste. Ask an adult to help with this recipe. So we get Neela's cool family recipes. Tomato fun facts. Tomatoes are a fruit, not a vegetable. That's because they have seeds and grow from a flowering plant. There are around 10,000 varieties of tomatoes. Tomatoes come in many colors: red, yellow, orange, pink, purple, black, and white. Tomatoes originated in the Andes Mountains of what are now Peru, Chile, Bolivia, and Ecuador, and were first used by the Aztecs in Mesoamerica as food. China produces the most tomatoes, followed by the United States and India. Then tells about some of the farm workers. And here's the author's note, the one who wrote the book. Some of my fondest memories from childhood are cooking with the women in my family. It's the foundation for all I've spent my life working on. Today I love sharing my passion for cooking with my daughter Krishna. Our most treasured times together are spent shopping for ingredients at the farmer's market and running home to cook our bounty for the evening's meal. Nothing brings us closer than food. It helps me connect to our culture, and it's a time for stories and family history, and I use these cooking activities to teach Krishna not only how to cook, but what to cook and when. A child who cooks their own food is more likely to eat it and to eat well. Children feel a proprietorship and pride in what they've cooked, even when it's healthy for them. Teaching children how to cook gives them a gift of good eating long after we're gone. The pleasure that comes from making something with my child and then savoring it together is magical. I believe being able to feed ourselves well at home using simple ingredients is the healthiest thing we can do for our family in the long run. My hope is that you will use the recipes in this book to bring your family together in health and happiness. And that is Tomatoes for Neela. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Come back soon. We're going to be reading a lot of children's books in January. Some of the children are homeschooled, so they'll be able to listen in. And some children are still on their Christmas vacation. So feel free to join me. Like and subscribe so that you know. Hit the notification bell. See you soon.